All right, hello everyone. Meteorologist Carly Smith here. We are just about to get started in just a few minutes. We have a good microphone and we will be talking about rain on the way. So yeah, a lot has happened this morning. You might have had issues with your work computer like we did here early on this morning, but our great team has gotten almost everything pretty much fixed. So we are rolling and we're good to go. So I am going to switch back over to my weather computer and then we will get started. I'm just always happy to hear when the sound is working on this live stream for you. So here we go right now. Welcome to this live weather update, everyone. Hey there, meteorologist Carly Smith is here. We are talking about the rain on the way. Good morning, everybody. We are really anticipating a decent amount of rain tomorrow. There is a chance for some scattered showers today and even into the weekend, but overall the weekend is looking quiet. So let's get in on our rainfall, shall we? So this is the weather pattern. This is the weather pattern that we are going to be focusing on right now, but especially heading into next week. The high pressure that's on the bottom right side of your screen, that's slowly drifting a little bit to the west, and that's going to help boost our tropical moisture as it's attracted to the low pressure. So this little area right here essentially is going to be amplified by tropical moisture in between this high and this area of low pressure. Meanwhile, the high pressure on the left side of your screen is helping push down this trough a bit further south, and that's where that stationary front is taking shape and stalling out over the region. So let me clear out all these arrows I drew and then explain. So there's the unsettled weather pattern coming up in between that high and that low, and then it's going to tap into the jet stream associated with the low pressure trough and move up into the Midwest. But for us, we are anticipating more rain, especially in the next week, specifically July 22nd through the 26th. These are very early preliminary rainfall totals, so we're looking at 2 to 4 inches, possible mostly along where that stationary boundary is most of the week. So starting today, this boundary has slid far or just south of Interstate 10. It's going to move back north over the weekend, and that's what's going to set up Sunday and Monday, especially a decent amount of rainfall that will likely impact our northern watershed. Additionally, portions of the hill country up into the DFW Metroplex. Then the front slides back to the south, and that's what's going to help boost our rain in addition to the drifting high pressure. So I'll explain that in more detail coming up. But our rainfall for South Texas specifically, we could wind up with 1 to 3 inches. I think the coast will see more than areas into the brush country. But our biggest day of rain, as of today, this can change. We're still several days out. But as of today, Wednesday is going to be the biggest day of rain for South Texas. But we start to see our rain chances going up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday. Today, yeah, we've got some widely scattered opportunities for rain. We'll talk about that in just a second, but here's the graphic I was talking about. So this is our available moisture in the atmosphere. The deeper the grain, the more moisture we have, the likely the heavier the rainfall is going to be. So if we go backwards in time, you see our moisture content or available moisture is fairly light right now. One thing that's going to boost our chance of rain is the proximity of the stationary boundary and the convergence that happens along that boundary. But essentially, additionally, those are two different words. Additionally, what's going to boost our rain chances today is just daytime heating, making the land hotter than the sea surface, and that creates the sea breeze. So I think we'll see more storms into the afternoon and evening. But then notice over the weekend we see less of that tropical moisture except for right along the coast. Let me see if I can zoom in. So this doesn't have a ton of moisture along the coast, but earlier on Sunday morning, we had more moisture along the coast. So we could see some early morning showers mostly along the coast, then still some spotty sea breeze over the weekend, but it's going to be this moisture. So watch as that moves in. I wish I didn't set a pause point. Zoom in, hold on. Okay, so as this high drifts a little bit more over kind of the north central Gulf of Mexico, that's going to boost the moisture, essentially tighten the area of moisture that's then getting kind of squeezed out like a wet towel right over really the Texas coastline. And so that happens on Wednesday. We see deeper tropical moisture in our atmosphere that is then getting squeezed between the stationary boundary and the area of high pressure. And so our rain chances really go up on Wednesday. Breaking it down on a futurecast map, here's what we have. You can see the spotty greens along the stationary boundary and just south of it. That's the spotty activity we're expecting today. Here's the coastal showers on Saturday, a little bit inland activity late into the afternoon and evening. We repeat that action on Sunday, so you see that here. Then it becomes a little bit more sea breeze induced. Really, Monday looks very similar to Sunday to me as well. We're now in our long range, lower resolution model data. The earlier data was high resolution, shorter range data. But as you can see, as the stationary front gets back in the area, our moisture is getting boosted out of the Gulf. By Wednesday, we're seeing the deeper greens in our rainfall futurecast forecasts, even some yellows starting to show up. That's anticipating some heavier rainfall in the area. I still expect it to be scattered to numerous, so I don't expect it to be widespread rain by any means, but we're going to see more rain, especially on Wednesday. We've got that coverage level up to numerous. So the three main things to know in this forecast is we do still have a hot and humid weekend. Saharan dust is also going to arrive next week. It should not impact our rainfall, because essentially, so Saharan dust is associated with dry air, and that gets wrapped into hurricanes and it weakens them, and hurricanes don't like the dust. However, when it comes to just normal thunderstorm and showering activity, the dust can actually act as a condensation nuclei, which allows all that moisture we were talking about to condense onto something and then essentially create the clouds and the water droplets that fall as rain. So dust isn't necessarily a bad thing for rain. I don't think it's going to have any problems, but you may notice some dirt on your car, and that would be Saharan dust. Rain chances are going to go up again midweek. Right now, here's the latest look at radar, where we are still seeing storms to our north, some spotty activity right along the Gulf Coast. But overall, we're pretty quiet. So here's the view of the storm action that's to our north. This is where that stationary boundary is set up. So you see these storms really aren't moving or advancing too far south of the boundary. And essentially, that's going to continue to be the case. There's not a lot of shear in the atmosphere, but there's a lot of instability, especially once the sun heats things up. So we'll see the storms kind of pop up and then die out, and that's really going to continue to be the case even for us into the afternoon. We do have some action that's starting to show up between San Antonio and Carson City. So yeah, a spotty shower can't be ruled out, but that's really all we've got going for us today. Blue skies up until then. So on this Friday, July 19th, we are going to see our temperatures heating up. 96 degrees, I think, will be the high. If you do get lucky and see one of those storms, you'll be a little cooler. As far as the weekend goes, we are looking at 90s possible at the beach, both Saturday and Sunday, but especially on Saturday. Overall, low rip current risk, very minimal wave activity, maybe up to 2 feet every 4 seconds on Sunday. A few swells may reach 3 feet, but I think that would be lucky. Wind does pick up on Sunday, so that's what increases the wave height. Additionally, there is a full moon on Sunday. It's the buck moon, and we will see a high tide in the morning. So I think I might have got confused on first edition, but high tide, see, this graphic has it confusing. I think something's wrong with the Saturday graphic, but high tide is going to be in the morning, so 6:50 a.m. and then 6:30. Those are flipped, actually. Anyway, long story short, Sunday, the tide forecast on Saturday is your Sunday forecast. I think they're flipped, and Sunday is Saturday. And anyway, high tide's in the morning. I clarified that. We've got high tide in the morning. I hate coming on here and having mistakes, but you know what? That's what happens when you do live stuff. So anyway, high tide is going to be in the morning. Low tide will be in the evening. And so we'll see the tide lowering throughout the day, which shouldn't have any major impacts on our beach. Additionally, with the low wave heights and the smaller periods, the shorter periods, that will decrease any coastal impacts. So I'm not anticipating coastal flooding with the full moon or anything. On Futurecast, what we are going to notice, this is for today and into the weekend, there's those spotty storms that start to pop up into this afternoon. The closer to that stationary boundary, like I said, it will drift south. So Beeville to Ingleside to Rockport, George West, you have a better chance at some of this rain. But we may see some storm action still continuing. But once the sun sets, things are going to die out pretty quickly. Then as we head into Saturday morning, we continue to see a chance for a few spotty showers that try to pop up early in the morning, but our better opportunity would be in the afternoon, but even that is still very spotty and mostly to our north as that boundary is starting to drift back to the north Saturday. So if you are planning to head to Operation Safe Return, we are going to see temperatures in the 80s early on. Remember, you want to get to there fast because once supplies are gone, they're gone. But I will be there later in the day from 1 to 2 p.m. and we'll have the green wall there, so it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be there early on as well, but once you gather all the stuff, then you can come and hang out with us. We will see temperatures in the 90s once things are wrapping up, and there is a slightly improved opportunity for a few spotty showers toward the end of the event. This is now your 7-day forecast. I'll check on some of the questions, comments, concerns that are in the comments, and then we'll wrap this thing up. But I am looking forward to the rain. I think it should be some beneficial rain. It's not going to be drought-ending rain or cause our watersheds to drastically improve. But with that being said, the rain that we saw last month has had our watershed totals or percentages go up by 1.1%. So since last month. So that's a bonus. If we continue to see rain, then it will at least stay the same or continue to go up. So that's what we want to hear. Let's see, I'm checking the comments now. Hey, Michael, I see you're asking what's up, Theo. What's up, Theo? Anyway, cold front. Yes, it is a cold front, but it's not really going to cool us down. However, our high temperatures are likely going to be in the low 90s, even the upper 80s, depending how much rain we actually wind up seeing. In fact, I think Wednesday we may stay in the 80s along with Thursday. So that will be nice, but mostly the front's going to stay to our north. We're just going to get some rain out of it, which will cool us down. So the 6-degree temperature difference, I'll take that any day. I'll take my jacket out. I mean, that's funny. Rain jacket will be needed, but I guess I could still be in the camera when I'm reading these. Weekend weather forecast. I love that. The pink heart degrees. Anyway, yeah, pretty decent weekend forecast. Nothing to complain about, but there is a chance you get a spotty shower that pops up right over your head. Otherwise, we're also checking some Saharan dust. That's what's keeping the tropics nice and quiet. So I didn't talk about that, but the tropics are quiet right now. We have no new tropical activity expected over the next 7 days. And you see all that brown stuff. I'm going to enhance the color a bit, and you'll see that moving across the Atlantic and into the Gulf of Mexico over the weekend. That is Saharan dust. We will see the dust arrive in the coastal bend by Monday, and it will be a thicker plume that then kind of continues to move into Wednesday and Thursday at the same time as our rain is increasing. But it shouldn't inhibit our rain because Saharan dust does act as a condensation nuclei, which allows, I think I said this earlier, allows for clouds to form, especially over land. And so, yeah, they do, and it does inhibit tropical activity. It suppresses it. It's typically a lot of dry desert air that's associated with it. But when that dry desert air is mixing with some cooler air to the north and so forth, essentially it can help with typical convection that is not tropical associated. So I know that's a little confusing. It's even confusing to think about out loud, but that is weather sometimes. All right, I think that's going to end this. We are not tracking anything in the tropics, but we are going to see some tropical moisture help us get that rain into next week. Of course, don't forget to download the KIII TV weather app. I think our newscast should be back streaming live on it later on this afternoon. So we had a temporary pause in our live web feed, but it should be back up and running for the evening newscast. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith with your weather impact forecast from KIII 3 News.